Pedro asks, PG-13 is likely getting traded this offseason. Would he be a good fit with the Mavs as a star wing next to Luka Doncic? How would the Mavs make that work? Use that hashtag NBA. Sent this in on Twitter. Pedro, I like the question. I think it's an interesting one as well because Paul George and the Mavs just faced off in the NBA playoffs, and could they reunite? I doubt it. I don't think the Mavs have the pieces to pull it off, but would I want to do it if I'm Dallas? Absolutely. Sure, Paul George took a huge step back in the playoffs, and yeah, he struggled throughout the year as well. But man, if you put him into this Dallas starting five, it answers so many questions. You have an offensive powerhouse duo of Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. That is incredible. But who are your defenders? Dorian Finney-Smith, that's great. That's good. But after that, you don't have any great defenders, and Paul George would immediately become that. He immediately steps in, and he'd have to, of course, be willing to take a back seat to KP and Luka, but I think it would be worth it because this is a team that could fight for a championship. Might even be better than what the Clippers have going on right now. I just don't think the Mavs have the trade chips to land a guy like Paul George. And if he does get moved, because reports are that everyone in the Los Angeles Clippers system is available except for Kawhi Leonard. So if PG gets moved, who should trade for him? I want you to give me a team down in the comment section, or if you're watching live with us right now on in the live chat as well, which team should make a move for Paul George if he becomes available this offseason? Bromo coming in with the question using that hashtag NBA says, do you think the Minnesota Timberwolves should try and sign Carmelo Anthony? I mean, if they feel like they can get to the playoffs right now, which I don't think they can, then sure. But Carmelo Anthony's not going to the Timberwolves. And I guess I also didn't see him going to the Portland Trail Blazers. But at this point in his career, I think Melo's happy where he's at. And I think the Blazers do want to bring him back. So should they try? Sure. Get a veteran leader in there. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Carmelo Anthony wants to go to Minnesota. Quay91 says, hashtag NBA, Kyle Lowry to Dallas? That's an interesting question, and it's something that I actually entertained last year on my Twitter. You can go to All Things Mavs on Twitter and go follow me there. But Kyle Lowry in Dallas would actually answer a lot of questions. He's a solid defender at the point guard position. He's a good offensive threat. The only problem is he is so far beyond the Mavs' timeline when it comes to age. You've got a 21-year-old Luka Doncic and a 25-year-old Kristaps Porzingis, and then a 34-year-old Kyle Lowry. I don't think the Mavs are going to try to trade for Kyle Lowry. I also don't think, even if they did want to, they wouldn't be able to. They don't have the pieces to make that work unless Toronto was going full-on rebuild and took some younger players like a Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe a Seth Curry as well. And speaking of Seth Curry, we got another Mavs-related question coming in from Bastian Udic. I think I got that right. I don't know. I did my best. Danny Green or Seth Curry? Easy answer, Seth Curry 100 times out of 100. Here's the deal. Danny Green, I hear some arguing in the background, and anyone who argues this point is absolutely crazy because Green was not good this year. He's not been good in the bubble. He was decent in Game 1. I will say he actually stepped up in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Seth Curry shot 44% from beyond the three-point arc. You know what Danny Green's supposed to be? A three-point shooter. You know what he didn't do well this year? Shoot the three. I'm taking Seth Curry 100 times out of 100. Maybe if I need a defensive stop, I'll sign Danny Green. But when I'm looking purely based on skill, give me Seth Curry. Vincenzo Peoples says, can OKC Thunder pick up Mike D'Antoni as their head coach? Here's the thing. Mike D'Antoni's old. Like, he is really old. And he's going to go to a team that can win right now. Now, maybe he signs somewhere as an assistant. And if OKC keeps all their pieces, which it doesn't look like that's going to happen, because if they were going to keep all their pieces, they would have kept Billy Donovan. That would have made a lot more sense. If I'm the Thunder, I hire a younger guy. I hire a guy that can grow with my team. I hire a guy like Antonio Daniels who knows the Oklahoma City Thunder system, and I go with that. I don't think D'Antoni would go to Oklahoma City because they're not in a position to win right now, looking like they're probably going to trade Chris Paul, probably going to trade Steven Adams, probably going to trade a guy like Dennis Schroeder. And if there are any big trades in the NBA, we're going live on Chat Sports, so make sure you have subscribed. If you haven't already, you're missing out on all the best NBA coverage. I'm doing it. Harrison Graham's doing some NBA coverage. I know Tom's done some. I know even Mitchell Renz has done a couple NBA shows. So whoever you need talking NBA, we got it here on Chat Sports. you haven't subscribed, go ahead and scroll on down, hit that big red subscribe button, and turn on your notifications as well, because we do post a ton of videos on Chat Sports, and if you don't have your notifications on, you're probably going to miss a couple, and trust me, you can't afford to miss a couple. Let's go to Rohit with this question. Trade Karl-Anthony Towns to the Warriors for the number 2 pick and Draymond Green, or trade Bradley Beal to the Warriors for the number 2 pick and Andrew Wiggins. I think the first trade, the Timberwolves say absolutely not. Although, you can get a LaMelo Ball and an Anthony Edwards to build around, but I'd rather have not Carmelo Anthony Towns, Karl-Anthony Towns than that number 2 pick. I also don't think Draymond Green makes a lot of sense in Minnesota because he is a veteran, and putting him into that young Timberwolves system just doesn't fit. The Bradley Beal and number 2 and Wiggins actually isn't bad at all. Not bad at all. I do think that is a deal that could get done on both sides because the Wizards get a lot younger. They also get a shot at a guy like LaMelo Ball with that number 2 pick. They get to build around Andrew Wiggins. Bradley Beal goes to Golden State, and they continue to stay really the championship contender that they already are. The Brennanator coming in with the question, who's a coach that isn't on the hot seat but really should be? This is the easiest answer I think I've ever given on this show. Luke Walton of the Sacramento Kings. Now, don't get me wrong. The Sacramento Kings do not have a good team. They have De'Aaron Fox, who I like. They have Marvin Bagley, who hasn't been healthy. And they have Harrison Barnes. It's just not a good team. But at the same time, Luke Walton hasn't managed that team well. He's benched Buddy Hield. He hasn't been able to play Bogdanovich right. I think you got to get rid of Luke Walton. I'm out on him as a head coach, especially with a young Sacramento team. So I'm going to go with the Sacramento Kings, Luke Walton, as my head coach that should be on the hot seat, but doesn't look like he is right now. Jello Smooth says, do you think Western Conference teams are going to overreact to the Lakers championship and use free agency to pick players to deal with the Lakers' height? Well, here's the thing. The Lakers' height could wither away in free agency. McGee's a free agent. Dwight Howard's a free agent. Anthony Davis is a free agent. He could leave, but I don't think he will. I don't think teams will overreact. I think they will look at this situation as, okay, this was a weird year. We're still going to play free agency by our rules. The things that teams do is what they should do, at least. They shouldn't build teams based on how other teams build their teams. They should build their teams the way they know how to build their teams and the way they can build around the personnel that they already have in the system. Bolt FN says, who do you think should be the Mavericks' third star? Great question, and I definitely think they need a third piece because they don't have it right now. Tim Hardaway Jr., a good third option, not a third star. If you want to go for a guy that's attainable right now, Victor Oladipo is definitely that guy, but he's hurt, and I also am not 100% sure he can be a star once again, but I would love to see the Mavs give him a chance. I think the obvious answer is you wait for 2021, and you go out and sign Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, that's just the easy answer. Is it realistic? I don't know. Is it unrealistic? I don't know. But I do think Giannis would be the perfect third piece in Dallas with Luka and Kristaps Porzingis. And if you want to rep the Dallas Mavericks or really any team and keep yourself safe and keep yourself healthy and keep those around you the same, go to chatsports.com/NBA mask. You can get packs of 4, packs of 3, packs of 2, or just get one for yourself. I would say go out and get the 4-pack because it is the best bang for your buck, and the masks are up to 30% off. So when you go to chatsports.com/NBA mask, you can get those at a great deal. Literally any team. I'm not kidding. Any of the 30 teams, they might even have some Charlotte Bobcat stuff. That might be a lie, but don't fact check me on that. Or you can fact check me by going to chatsports.com/NBA mask and picking up your mask today. Another super chat coming in from my guy Kenneth Booker says, do you think Bol Bol will be a backup next season? Ooh, interesting question. And there's a lot of room for him to be a backup next year. Mason Plumlee's leaving. Nikola Jokic is going to be there for a long time. He still has to put on a lot of weight. He still has to prove to me that he can be healthy. Good thing for him is that he has, from the Western Conference Finals all the way probably until January to get his body right. You know what? I do think there's a very, very realistic possibility that he is the backup big man in Denver next year. AI or Al Mack, I'm not sure which one it is. He says Miles Turner and TJ Warren for Wiggins and the number 2 pick. Oh, man. This is a good one. this is a really good one because number 2 and Wiggins definitely helps the Pacers out a lot, and Miles Turner becomes that big man that the Warriors need, plus TJ Warren's a good scoring option. I don't hate this trade for either team. If I have to say one that says no, it's probably the Golden State Warriors in this situation because Wiggins is still a 20-point-per-game guy. The number 2 pick is still a guy like Okongwu or Wiseman or LaMelo Ball. But I like it a lot. I really like this a lot. Thank you, AI Mac, for that awesome trade suggestion.